Good night. My name is Naomi Madeline Peralta del Pozo. This is my ID card. And today I'm going to talk about plagiarism and how to avoid it. So, what is plagiarism? In a sense, it's the act of using ideas from another person and passing them off as our own without a proper credit. This can happen intentionally or accidentally. The accidentally is when you not properly cite and just put the information. This can be plagiarism. And know how to avoid plagiarism is very important, especially for us that we are university students. This is because we are in constant research, in constant investigations, in constant writing, like doing investigations. We we must have a proper way to avoid plagiarism, because if we have a lot of percentage of plagiarism of the homework that we do, we can even have in trouble our title. So or our college degree. So we need to look really deep into this. And actually, recognizing the different types of plagiarism, because yes, there is a lot of types of plagiarism, we encourage ourselves to develop critical thinking skills and take full responsibility for our work and sources. So it's it's really important. And the types of plagiarism are eight. The first one is copy paste information without acknowledgement, mosaic, self or auto plagiarism, remix, collusion, find and replace, cloning, and verbatim. The copy-paste information without an acknowledgement, it's the most common type of plagiarism. Actually, I have seen that this is really common with preteens, like 30, 14, 15 years old, when they're making a academic work. So this is really hard. And actually it's directly copying text from a source, like you find it, you go, just make a capture and paste in Word. That is what it copy paste information. And no, there is no proper quotation mark or proper citations. This sometimes we don't even have any of these ones. Second, it's mosaic. This is mixing exact phrases or passages from different resources. And this is when we actually we as this type of plagiarism, it's assembling them into a new piece of work. Like I have one resource here, I took a phrase from here. From this another resource, I took a paragraph from here, and like this. And references are usually are missing or incomplete. So for plagiarism, it's when it's no like it's a type of plagiarism because you present old work as if were new information. It's when you reuse your own previous ideas, like from essay, from investigations, and not indicate that the content was used before. Yes, this is considered a plagiarism because you don't proceed and we are assuming that this is new information. I have an example here of Jonah Lehrer. He's an American writer, journalist, blogger, and speaker who was really important in topics of psychology and neuroscience. But he was accused in 20, uh, he was accused of self-plagiarism because he had reused his previous article in these magazines, the New Yorker and Wired, and he published a lot of old work saying that it was new investigations. So after a really hard and long investigation, they fired him in July 30. So let's be careful of this. In remix, this appears original but lacks of proper citation. It combines paraphrase content, sometimes own personal ideas, and sometimes direct quotes. Like it's a remix of other types of plagiarism. It's kind of weird. So it's similar to mosaics actually, but this is more buyer type of content. And collusion, it's when a group this a group work is disguised as individual submissions. Maybe it's not exactly the same. For example, if I have a work, my classmate go and copied it. Maybe he has not the same, but has a really very similar or identical connections. So this is plagiarism. And final replace, minor change are made to copy text because sometimes these are replaced with synonyms. Like, for example, if we just say, this is good, the synonym say, it's okay, it's acceptable. Sometimes, some things like this. And it's considered plagiarism because the core content, it's not original. The some usually the structure and main ideas remain the same. In cloning, it's taking someone else's entire work and the most of the time only change the author's name or even the title of the investigation of the book or the whatever you say, but but it's still cloning. It's similar to copy paste information without acknowledgement, but in this case, because in copy paste is only sometimes paragraph or just one page, but this is exactly all the text, all the book, all the article, all entirely. It's a severe form, and in some places this is even illegal. I have a famous case here that the professor Gavin Jones reported via Twitter that two university students from Cesar Vallejo University plagiarized, cloned his entire article. Okay, so it was entirely copied, but only translated into Spanish. Is what like that was the only difference. The from Gavin, it was in English, and from students was in Spanish. That was the only difference. It was very hard, and there were a lot of investigations. And finally, we have verbatim that use information from interviews, videos, audios, or it's when you copy the words, speak words of the person and made it write it. Okay, so you only transcribes and lacks of proper citation. So when we after we solve all this type of plagiarism, what can we do to prevent this? Well, I think the simplest way to avoid this is cite properly, because understanding how correctly understanding this can save us from committing academic dishonesty. And if you want some ideas like easier, you have paraphrasing and summarizing. It's a really good way of using other's idea, but and learn from this one and avoid plagiarism. Thanks.